circus ringmaster. Now present for you the one, the only, Casey Jr. In a moment, he is going to take the wild animals, that's you, on a trip around Storybook Land. For a safe trip, please stay seated in your cages or cars while we're rolling, and keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Oh, and remember to watch your children too. Bienvenidos. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los niños. Gracias. Now, Casey, let's get this show on the road, or track. All aboard! All aboard! All aboard! Let's go! Casey Jr.'s coming down the track, with a smoky stack. Million popping coming round the hill. Casey's here to thrill every jack and Jill. Every time it's fun and every whistle sounds. Everybody hurries to the circus grounds. Time for lemonade and crack and jack. Casey Jr.'s back, Casey Jr.'s back. Every time it's fun and every whistle sounds. Everybody hurries to the circus grounds. Time for lemonade and crack and jack. Casey Jr.'s back, Casey Jr.'s back.
Let's go!
smoky stack. Hear him puffin' coming round the hill. Casey's here to thrill every Jack and Jill. Every time his funny little whistle sounds, everybody hurries through the circus grounds. Time for lemonade and Cracker Jack. Casey Jr.'s back. Casey Jr.'s back. Every time his funny little whistle sounds, everybody hurries to the circus grounds. Time for lemonade and Cracker Jack. Casey Jr.'s back. Casey Jr.'s back.
And away we go. Good morning, friends, and welcome aboard. My name is Dora, and I'm going to be your captain aboard the end of snow today. Now, just a few friendly reminders before we start our story. That's for your safety. We ask that you please remain seated, keeping all hands on, seat marked inside the boat at all times. And parents, please keep an eye on any young children so our story doesn't take any unexpected turns. Now, most people would tell the stories through the pages of a book, but when doing so in person, the methods are a bit more magical or human menacing. However, I like to say when there's a whale, there's a way. And while it may seem like we're being swallowed by the jaws, the monster, the whale, the very same whale that swallowed Pinocchio. Don't worry, friends, he's simply helping to transport us into the magical world of Storybook Land.
Oh no, run.
Now we begin as all good stories do with once upon a time, so there was a big bad wolf who lived in the cave coming up on our left. He's always chasing after the three little pigs, but don't worry, they live safely across the way in their three houses. One made of straw, one made of sticks, and one made of 100% guaranteed wolf-proof brick. And just around the river bend, our story is already taking quite a strange turn. For coming up on our left-hand side, you'll soon see a quaint English village where a little girl named Alice lives. One golden afternoon, she decided to follow the white rabbit down the rabbit hole, and down she fell into Wonderland, where things only became curiouser and curiouser. What is Wonderland? Your cup of tea, look no further than the second star to your right, and you'll see London Park, where Peter Pan and the Darling Children first took flight. With faith, trust, and pixie dust from Tinkerell, they were all off to Neverland, where they would never ever have to grow up. And just one jump ahead is the city of Agrabah, and the very same marketplace where a street rat named Aladdin first stole the heart of Princess Jasmine. So the two are from two different worlds, the help of their friends Abu, Carpet, and Genie. True love prevailed, and they lived happily ever after in the Sultan's palace. Love blooms in places like these, just like the roses that bloom in the golden archways above us. In fact, these are the very same archways that Jasmine and Aladdin went soaring over, under, and sideways through on their magic carpet ride to a whole new world. And while these stories have their pages full of hope and light, they have their pages of mystery as well, such as the Cave of Wonders, which is home to many treasures, including a magical lamp, which is the home of an all-powerful genie. Now the legend has that those who free the genie from his lamp are granted 3 wishes, but maybe if we wish a wish right now, it might even come true. Snow White wished for a safe place to stay after fleeing from her mother, the evil queen, and came across the cottage on the page to our right, home of the 7 dwarfs, who granted her shelter in exchange for her kindness. On the page to our left, Cinderella wished to go to the ball, but was forbidden to do so by her wicked stepmother. Thankfully, her fairy godmother was there to grant her wish, and she danced the night away with her Prince Charming until midnight, when her carriage turned back into a pumpkin that can be seen on the hillside today. Now, while magic might have its limits, thankfully true love does not, as Cinderella and her prince were reunited, and they lived happily ever after. So this is hearing Storybook Canal are often inspired by dreams, whether these are dreams of happily ever after, or the dreams one they have when they're falling asleep amongst rolling hills of patchwork plants, just like the ones on our left-hand side, inspired by the 1933 Silly Symphonies cartoon Lullaby Land. There's magic everywhere here in Storybook Land, all the way down into our miniature plants, as they are all real. However, thanks to the help of Tinkerbell and her pixie dust, they will never grow up and will continue to stay this little forever and ever. I've heard some stories about some pretty bad drivers, but none of them as terrible as J. Thaddeus Toad, whose manor we are approaching on our left-hand side. We could try and knock, but it doesn't look like he's home front. Mr. Toad is usually elsewhere in Fantasyland, off on a wild ride to nowhere in particular. And just past Toad Hall is the kingdom of Arendelle, where Queen Elsa's ice palace sits atop the frozen fjord. It's here that her sister Anna and their friends Olaf, Kristoff, and Sven learn true sisterly love to start a frozen heart. Meanwhile, in our Alpine village across the way, Woodcarver Geppetto wished upon a star-closed puppet to become a real boy. After Pinocchio saves them both, the jaws of Monster the whale, the Blue Fairy was more than happy to make their dreams come true. And our final story begins when a little mermaid named Ariel traded her fins for a pair of legs and took her first shaky steps on land to become a part of our world. So her story ends on land to our right, Princess, Castle by the Sea. It begins to our left, so behind our waterfall you might have the ghost of Atlantica, where her father King Triton and her 50 friends, Flandre and Sebastian live. And as we close the final chapter in our storybook and we approach the dock, we ask that you please remain seated, keeping all hands on land fingers inside of the boat until we reach a full and complete stop at our dock. Once we do, I'll be asking you all to stand up together on my count of 3 in the center of the boat for balance to make sure none of us have to go finding Nemo.